Stick to the track on my way to the top. Pit got it locked from goose to the lock. R.I.P. a big impact that he's not, but damn he's hot. Label flop, but Pit won't stop. Got her in the cockpit playing with Pits. Now watch me make a movie like Albert Hitchcock.
You belong to me, I belong to you. Fire from my heart, burning just for you. When you're far away, I'm in love with you. Feelings are so high, what can I do? You belong to me, I belong to you. Fire from my heart, burning just for you. When you're far away, I'm in love with you. Feelings are so high, what can I do?
Mommy got an ass like a donkey with a monkey, look like King Kong. Welcome to the crib, real fast, that's what it is with the women down here. They don't play games, they off the chain, and they love to do everything and anything. And they love to get it in, get it on all night long. One, two, three, four, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, rumba, sí, ella quiere su rumba, rumba, sí, ella quiere su rumba, si es verdad que tú eres guapa, yo te voy a poner gozar, tú tienes la boca grande, dale, one, two, three, four, uno, dos, tres, dale. I know you want me.